What's up, YouTube? It's Joe Catchpollia sitting on the couch, making some money investing in fractional real estate online, as usual. I'm making a little video about Collab today. We haven't talked about them in quite a long time. If you are signed up with them, you probably got this email. Even if you're not already signed up with them, I saw they had put some info about this deal, or at least one of these deals, in the Discord, or in their Discord. So I think you can check it out there too. I'm not sure. That's the second one I'm going to talk about. I'm not sure if you can get the first one just through their website somewhere or not. But so I just wanted to mention it. So these are the two deals they're doing. The first one is if you invest $500 or more into any of these properties: 1742 Spruce, 33 Mine, 21 Buttonwood number 2, and 2340 Hillgard, you'll receive a 10% bonus shares added directly to your investment. Now, be careful, because if you just click on this, it's going to bring you to their whole, well, let me just do that, right? It opens up their thing where you can invest in any of the properties, but, and maybe those are the only ones. So that's available. Maybe that's everything that they actually have. Was this Durant on that list? No, right? So like this one isn't on that list. Oh, but it's not ready yet. Okay, so maybe it's actually everything that they have available other than the one. And so this one you could invest in here, but this isn't included in that list because it's part of their second deal, okay? But anyway, I took advantage of this today because this 33 Mine property I bought back in January, and then I started getting distributions, and I got a partial distribution in February, but then I've gotten a full distribution every month since. I did a video early on about I don't understand how they're making, how they're paying it out because they had a negative NOI, but every quarter since that first one, they have had a positive NOI in the quarterly, the quarterly reports that I get. They're not super transparent about what's going on, but it does seem like I'm getting this 7.5% return, and it's not like some of the other property or websites where I just completely can't understand where it's coming from. It looks like they're legitimately making enough to pay me that. You remember, this is the only one on their platform that had a 7. I think. Is that true? I think Panoramic Way had, which was the other deal. Oh, what are they? They don't have it here. I think you got to go back to this. It's 7.1. So Panoramic Way was the other one that had a 7 as well. Most of them, they're 6s or below. I've done a couple videos about Panoramic Way also, but let me get back to this. But so, I figured I'm pretty happy with how this is going. I had only bought the minimum initially. I'm a little worried about the platform in general. They're not very responsive. When I have asked questions, I haven't gotten great answers. But it looks like, at least from the financials, that this one's doing reasonably well. So I decided that I would jump, just put $500 more just to get a 10% bonus, right? It is one of the things I talked about a lot early on this channel, I think, but I haven't really mentioned much lately. A lot of the deals, I've gotten a significant amount of money just in these like different little bonuses over the past year. Invest so much in something, get a little bit here. That's how I got stuff on Mogul that way. I got stuff through Ground Floor. It's one of the reasons that I'm sprinkling cash across several platforms, right? Because, even though, okay, like when I bought, property on Real Bricks, yeah, I don't think it's a great investment, but I got a $50, $50 in extra shares, I think, on that one for, just for making my first $100 investment. Those things, I was adding them up, and I've made actually, over a couple $1,000s worth of bonus, from bonus investments over the last year. It's not a huge amount of money. It's not really, but it adds up, right? And so when some of these deals that I think are kind of like borderline, like I'm not super excited about this property, but it's been chugging along. They've been paying their distribution, and I believe in the thesis of buy the bed student rentals. I don't think this is going away, especially not near sort of flagship universities in different states like what Rutgers is in New Jersey. So yeah, well, I noticed that they sent this out, said, hey, I'm going to jump on that. Now, their other deal is a little bit different. You can't just, and this actually confused me at first because, again, I clicked on this, which brings you to their regular page. If you go, this isn't for buying 150 panoramic shares. You have to buy it on their WeFunder. So if you click this one, it'll get you there. And I did a separate video on this WeFunder deal that they're doing a while back too. So if you look in the Collab playlist, you'll be able to see these older deals or these older videos. But so this is not, you're not really getting shares in the property in the same way that that you buy on their website. You're getting what seems to me to be sort of like venture debt. You get it's a loan. You share in the percent of the revenue until you get 2.2 times your money back, and then I think you're out. I think that's it. I'm not 100% certain that's how that works, but that's what it looks like to me. I don't think that you're getting, any sort of residual after you get your 2.2x back, which could take a very long time, right? It's just based on a percent of the revenue from the property, which means there's no guarantee that you'll ever get it all back, right? Like it just depends on how that property performs. But what you're getting with that one, if you invest, they're giving you an Amazon gift card. So I thought this was kind of interesting. This is the one that if you go to their Discord, you can see that they mention this. So, and is it mentioned on here? I don't think it is. Now, I didn't see anywhere, like I actually went through and bought the extra shares on here. I didn't see anywhere when I did the transaction where it said I got those extra shares, and the transaction hasn't settled yet. So I don't know how that's going to work, and I also don't know how you're actually going to get the gift card. So if that's really what's driving making that investment, you obviously want to reach out to them and figure out the details of it ahead of time. For me, obviously, once I get my shares, if I don't have the extras, I'll reach back out and say, hey, I did this, just like your email said, what happened? And, who knows, maybe the answer will be, oh, well, you got scammed because you don't pay enough attention to stuff. But I don't think that's what's happening. I fully expect to get an extra 10% of bonus shares on this. That's it. I just wanted to point this out in case, I know we get, especially if you're like me and you're signed up across a whole bunch of these different fractional real estate platforms. You probably get a ton of different emails from them, and some of them I just ignore, which reminds me, please like and subscribe. In the description of this video, I have links to all the places where I'm currently investing in fractional real estate online. Please do your own due diligence on any of those platforms and any of the properties that you see me talk about. Just because I'm buying some of these deals doesn't mean that you should. Just because I'm buying on a certain platform doesn't mean that you should. If you use some of those links, some of them will give you some bonus money when you sign up. You want to do your own due diligence on their terms as far as what, sometimes you have to invest a significant amount of money to get the free money. Also, there's a Discord, link to the Discord that I have set up, not the Collab one that I mentioned earlier, but one where there's just a whole bunch of us talking about several different fractional real estate investing platforms. It's free. It's not a sales funnel. It's just a bunch of people that are all interested in this same thing. Anyway, that's really all I wanted to mention. If you've taken advantage of either of these deals, feel free to let us know in the comments or jump in the Discord and talk about it. If you've done it and you've already gotten your bonus shares, because I'm interested in, or your gift cards, how those actually got to you, right? Like, does it just automatically show up? Did you have to do anything? I feel like a lot of the times with many of these platforms, and I think this is the first time on Collab that I tried to take advantage of anything like this. They've done some of these before, and at the time I passed, but now because 33 Mind has just been chugging along for me, and I feel a little bit better about it than I did in the beginning of the year. I figured, hey, I might as well put a little bit more in there for a 10% bonus. I think that's, and it's, again, it's relatively low risk. I'm not putting a ton of money on here compared, or for me, relatively low portion of my portfolio that I'm risking, right? Like, and I'm trying to get as wide a diversification across all these platforms as I can, because you just don't, even though, like, for example, right now, there are ones that I'm much more confident in than others. I've been really bullish on Mogul this past month. Has shaken that a little bit, although I still am. I was really pumping Sol's Lot for a while. I thought that was gonna really be the next thing, and we're getting some slow redemptions at the moment, and it's we haven't had any new bread and butter deals popping up. We had something that seems like I don't know, that maybe is a distraction from the core business model. I don't know. Lofty, my opinion has been all over the place, but generally moved down and down. Arc 7, I finally started investing in. So, it's changed quite a bit. I have no idea who's going to be the winner at the end of the day, right? And so I'm not putting any more on any platform. I'm only putting an amount on each platform that I'm willing to lose. But hopefully getting over time, larger and larger chunks of deals on as many of these as possible, right? Because the goal for me is to hopefully someday just move all of my capital from real world properties to fractional stuff, so I never have to get off the couch again. But we'll see. Anyway, that's enough rambling about that. Let me know if you did take advantage of either of those deals and how it turned out. In any case, until next time, I'm going to keep making mistakes so that you don't have to.